hell is going on? Why don't they give Kyle Pitts the ball? This is like the game that he was supposed to come back from. I think he only has one catch for like 8 yards, man. You know what? Drake London was having a bad game too up until this play, so hopefully Drake London, that helps out, and then Kyle Pitts can do something. This is a pass-heavy game script now, so I mean Atlanta's got to throw the ball. They can't just keep running the ball for like negative yards. I think Algier has like less than 2 points, so that's kind of sad.
Oh man, I need Pitts to score that touchdown. I'm going against London.
Yeah, I hope Pitts scores, man. I was telling people to start Pitts. I started Pitts in one of my leagues, So, yeah, man, I'm hoping for big things from Pitts. We'll see what happens. They keep hitting Jonnu Smith. They're not hitting Pitts. Ritter's looking trash out there, just like every other week. So, I mean, what's new? Atlanta Falcons are running the ball. I think there was at one point, it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and they just did an inside handoff. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, you're at your 10-yard line. Like, get out of there. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, they gotta start throwing the ball more, man. Keep this game competitive.
Yeah, for real, man. I need one more Trevor Lawrence pass touchdown and a Bijan rush touchdown. Bro, I won $800 off a $50 bet. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be a nice thing. I didn't place any bets today.
Yeah, true.
All points for Trevor Lawrence. I get some questions in here. Any new updates? All the injury reports are going to be coming out soon.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Hey, Goons, is it Zeke season? Yo, Bill Belichick, man, what a joker, eh? He puts out a report. Ezekiel Elliott's going to get bulk of the touchdowns. He's going to be used as an RB1 today. I find that pretty funny, man. Yeah, man, I find that pretty funny, man. Shout out Bill Belichick, man. You know what, man? He's one of the most boring but interesting guys out there, One-word answers, doesn't really say much. But, yeah, man, like Zeke season, I hope so. He's going against Dallas. Dallas has a pretty good defense. So, I mean, yeah, I think they're going to probably use him at the goal line. So, if you have Zeke, today might be one of the only days that you could probably start him. Or it could be Belichick just throwing smoke and being like, yeah, we're going to start this guy. We're going to use him in the RB1. And then not.
Just use him as a decoy the whole game.
Yeah, I read a report saying that Zeke knows all their all their signs and everything like that. So maybe that's why they want to play it, so he could check the reads and he can kind of let Mac Jones know what the read is, what the defense is looking like. So we'll see about that. But
they said they have to change their hand signals.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know if you have enough time to do all that.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to change all your hand signals in 1 week when you're facing Bill Belichick and the Patriots? Like, I'm sorry, man. Those guys are too smart. Like, they're not falling for that. So, Drake London in London getting busy. Hell yeah. Man, so my boy calls me today. Yeah, my boy called me at 8:30 this morning, bro. And he's like, yo, should I start Drake London or Elijah Moore? And, man, you know something about these London games. I was like, bro, if you bench Drake London right now in London and he pops off, you're going to be upset. Deshaun Watson was dealing with a shoulder injury. Now that he's out, like, I don't know, maybe they're going to get Elijah Moore's targets, but Elijah Moore hasn't scored over 10 half PPR fantasy points all year. And that was even with 9 grabs last week. So, yeah, man, I told him to start Drake London, and it wasn't looking very good. I wasn't very confident about it up until that last play. So, yeah, shout out Drake London. Thank you, Desmond Ridder, for finally completing a pass to one of your receivers instead of the defense. Respect. You kept the Goons' reputation.
The only thing that's tough was that this game was so early, the 9:30 game. So,
yeah.
And then the Deshaun Watson news just came out now, but it was was a good lineup adjustment.
Yeah, and you know what though? Even if Deshaun was starting that Baltimore and Cleveland game, Baltimore didn't do very well against Cleveland last year. Cleveland's defense is playing lights out. They've only let one reception touchdown all year. So I don't really know, man. I think that might actually be a pretty low scoring game, especially with Deshaun out. The Baltimore receivers are banged up. I mean, they have Zay Flowers obviously going to start him, but
your mic is a little static. Okay.
Oh, my apologies. Yo, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that game's gonna be I think that game's gonna be a crappy game, man. I think it's gonna be very boring. A lot of 3 and outs.
Oh, I can hear the static again.
Well, I'm gonna keep talking. I don't know, man. I pay for all these nice ass headsets, $400-$500 headsets. I expect them to work, man.
Just gotta get you some AirPods, man.
No, brother. So we had a question from Frank. Did Njoku die? He came out looking like Leatherface today. You see, he's got the mask on. I guess he got burns on his face and burns on his hands and stuff. I think he's gonna play, man.
They just have to see how the helmet fits on him. Something to do with his helmet, they said.
Yeah.
I think he'll play, though.
Another said he looked like Kane from WWE. I think maybe they should put a Kane mask on him while he's playing or something, you know?
He's looking
NBA
like
players,
Jason from Friday the 13th.
Yeah, man. I mean, NBA players got masks that make them look like Batman. You know what I mean? I guess if the mask moves around, it's definitely going to mess with you. But yeah, that is pretty wild, Frank. Man, like, what a freak accident. It just goes to show, like, man, these NFL players are real people. Like, they do stuff outside of the NFL, and I just think it's crazy, man. The guy burned his face. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah, it's confirmed. He is playing.
Yeah, that's what I mean, bro. That's a G right there. If this was the NBA, they'd be like, oh, rest needed for 6 weeks.
But the thing is, do we start Njoku? Do we start these Cleveland Browns offensive players like Cooper and Elijah Moore? I mean,
you're starting Cooper. You have to start Cooper, man. Like, you can't not start Cooper.
I mean,
you probably
be very risky, though.
Yeah, for sure. But you got to play somebody in that game. You can't avoid. I mean, like, who would you start instead of Cooper? That would be like, because Cooper's probably your wide receiver 2. For some people that went heavy RB, he's your wide receiver 1. For some people that went heavy wide receiver, he's your wide receiver 3. Who else do you put in? I would have suggested Christian Kirk, to be honest, but he's already playing. Who would you put in there as opposed to like a Cooper that's maybe on a lower tier wide receiver but a higher tier upside?
I'd probably say the Broncos receivers. I go Jacoby Myers. I go Adam Thielen. I go Tank Dell.
You go Jacoby Myers with Aiden O'Connell starting.
Oh, you're right. He is starting. No. I would not go Jacoby Myers. So basically, you got 2 rookie quarterbacks starting. So the Raiders have their rookie QB and the Browns have their rookie QB starting. But the Ravens do have injuries in their secondary. So I don't know. Marlon Humphrey's out. Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton are both questionable. So we'll see.
But Marlon Humphrey's out?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to help Cooper out. Yeah.
True. Yeah, man, you got to play Cooper, man. And you know, that guy that started, I think his name's like Dorian Thompson or something like that. Yeah, man, that guy was pretty good in college. He played pretty well in the preseason. Like, it's not to say that he's going to have a bad matchup. If they had Nick Chubb, it would definitely help a lot. We got another question in here, just as we're talking about this game. Nader asks, what are we doing with Deshaun Watson being out? I'm guessing that's a QB question. And then Pierce or Ford with Watson out?
Pierce or Ford?
Jerome Ford or Damian Pierce, I'm guessing.
Oh, man. Might have to go with Ford. Pittsburgh's got a pretty good run defense.
Yeah. I think that's they're gonna air it out, man. They like to run the ball a lot. I'm gonna pass the ball a lot. Houston does, and they got three. Hey, one quick thing. Isn't it crazy that you have literally 4-5 Houston players that you could play every week? Like you got CJ Stroud, you could play every week. You could play Bobby Trees. You could play Tank Dell. You could play Nico Collins. You could play Damian Pierce. Man, that's 5 players. And the one guy I thought you might be able to play would be Dalton Schultz, and he's not really doing too well. But yeah, man, you could play those guys. Sorry, man. If you want to answer that question real quick, though, Pierce or Ford this week, you're going Ford. I think I'm going Ford too. With a rookie QB, they might want to run the ball a bit more. Cleveland's strength is their run game. They have a really good run blocking offensive line. Sorry, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Cleveland has a really good run blocking offensive line. So I'd probably play Ford. But you know what? I think they're kind of even there. It's just Pittsburgh has such a good defense, man, and they've been on the roll. They're getting after the QB. They're stopping the run. Start Ford. Omar asks, any actual updates on Barkley? Well, first of all, screw you, Omar. You're my opponent this week. So I don't really want to answer this question. But to keep the integrity of this show, I hear he's doubtful. He practiced in a limited fashion. It's a Monday night game. I know your opponent has Gary Brightwell and Matt Breida sitting on my bench. So if Saquon doesn't play, you're kind of screwed. And then you're just going to get 0 points anyway. I know you're starting James Conner against San Francisco there. I would start James Conner anyway. Even though it's a tough matchup, like, I'm not taking out James Conner to play a possible Saquon Barkley. I'm not doing it. I know I got burned by the Montgomery take. I said, you know what, Montgomery's coming back from an injury. Who knows? Maybe you want to start a Javonte Williams or something other than that. And I got screwed over, man. Nope. But no one thought he was going to get 32 carries for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. If I did, I would have placed that bet, and I'd be real rich right now.
That was weird. Coming off a thigh injury, and they gave him 30 carries, and the game was out of hand, too, in the fourth quarter, and they still kept feeding him the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, I'm telling you, man. Like, I don't know, bro.
Would you start any of the Giants' backup running backs against the Seahawks?
I'm not.
If I can trust. Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, like Matt Breida was their best running back last week, and he had 4 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. So, yeah. I mean, I did win a bet on Matt Breida anytime touchdown scorer, but I only bet like $10 and I won like 30. So like whatever, I wasn't very confident in it. So Omar, I love you. I hate you. My honest opinion is Barkley's not going to play, so play somebody else. As your opponent, I think you should take a risk on Barkley.
Well, he's doubtful, so I doubt he's going to play. That is a high ankle sprain. They've been trying to hide that for weeks.
Come on, man. Like, Saquon is that offense, bro. Come on. Like, the guy is such an amazing player. Like, do you really want to risk him for a week right now? Like, I don't know. Frank says, I wavered Tank Dell last week. Him over Waddle yet? Those 20 points a game are looking juicy.
Him over Waddle.
I got Waddle. Yeah, man. I can't not go Waddle, man. He's just too talented. Like, I know he's crap in the bed right now. I mean, Houston has a juicy matchup. So, like, if you want to play Tank Dell, like, I don't think you're going to get a stinker from him. And, like, he could possibly outscore Jalen Waddle. I mean, he has pretty much every week but week 1. But you drafted your studs in the first 3 rounds, man. You got to play those guys.
And this offense is just rolling, too.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not upset if you start Tank Dell. I think they could both have a good game. If you can get both of them in your lineup, maybe you want to do that. Because Pittsburgh is atrocious against the pass, man. They're so bad, and if they do shut down Damian Pierce, Houston's going to have to throw the ball, and CJ Stroud is a capable thrower, man. That's a tough one for me. My gut's telling me Tank Dell, but my logic is telling me that you got to play your studs, man. You got to play Waddle. Choose one. Ford versus Baltimore or Ayuk versus Arizona or A-Chan, not A-Chain, A-Chan. It took him 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, it took him 200 yards and 4 touchdowns to tell us how to really say his name. Shout out Achan. Or Achan? Yeah, Achan.
That's what they say.
A-Chan. It's A-Chan. That's what it is. Anyways. Are you starting Ford over Baltimore? Or Ford against Baltimore, Ayuk against Arizona, or A-Chan versus Buffalo?
I'd go Ayuk for sure there. Ayuk. In order, I'd go Ayuk. Miami said they're going to give A-Chan, or however you say his name, more opportunities this week. And then, who knows, is Hunt going to eat into Ford's workload a bit more? I would say I'd say Ayuk, and then A-Chan and Ford. I'd go that way.
Yeah. I think the obvious answer is going to be Ayuk. He's been the wide receiver 1 on that team when he's playing. Brock Purdy trusts him. His yards after catch is amazing. I know Debo's awesome too. Elijah Mitchell's going to be probably out this game. So it's going to be a lot of heavy CMC, and maybe if they want to give him a little bit of a break, they might just pass the ball to the receivers more instead of dumping it off to him. But yeah, Ayuk definitely number 1, and then Ford and A-Chain or A-Chan. It's really a toss-up. I want to play A-Chan. It's hard not to play A-Chan after last week. He popped off, but that's probably the best fantasy performance he's ever going to have in his whole career. And Raheem Mostert has been rolling. It's not like Mostert's been bad. Buffalo does have a pretty decent defense, and if it is a shootout, I could see them dumping it off to A-Chan a lot. The upside play is A-Chan. The safe play is Ford. But Ayuk over both. Definitely, man. Yeah, for sure, bro. Ayuk over both for sure. Man, how do you feel about that Bears backfield today? I know you said earlier one of your starts of the week was Roschon. How do you feel about Khalil Herbert? Can we trust Khalil Herbert going forward, or even at this game they are facing Denver?
I would say you can flex both of them, especially in deeper leagues. You can flex both of them. We know about this Broncos run defense. It's horrible. They're going to get their opportunities. I think they're going to run the ball a bit more this week just to help Justin Fields out. I like both of them as a flex option this week for sure. I have Roschon in my lineup.
That was more a start-sit question for me because I have Herbert in all my leagues. And I hate to say it, we have a league mate named Bash who told me Roschon's going to take over, and I've been fighting it, kind of because I'm biased, and two because he has been playing more. But I don't know,
this
man.
Might be the week.
I really hope. I really hope not. But if it is, it is. So another question coming in. Need a flex in Yahoo League. Do I start Joshua Kelly or Brian Robinson?
Oh, man. I got burned by Kelly 2 weeks in a row. I'm staying away from that. He just does not look good, man. Week 1, he had a good game, but you had prime opportunity in back-to-back weeks, especially against Minnesota. I get it against Tennessee, but in Minnesota, you stuck it up.
Minnesota has a pretty good rush defense, man.
They got lit up by the Eagles' run game.
But
Rashad White also had a great game against them too. And this is a high-powered offense on the Chargers, and Kelly couldn't do anything. It's hard. Brian Robinson has such a tough matchup. I'd stay away from both these guys, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? Out of the two, I'm starting. I'm starting Josh Kelly. The reason why, again, Raiders are starting a rookie quarterback. He could ball out. He could crap the bed. If the Chargers get to a big lead, I could see them running the ball out with Kelly. So just from sheer touches, I think Kelly's going to be maybe the guy that's You're going to have the higher upside here just because it is an easier matchup and the rookie QB situation. Also, Brian Robinson going against the Philly defense, like, man, I hate starting any running back against that Philly defense, man. Like, you got Jordan Davis, you got Jalen Carter, man. You got Fletcher Cox, like, man, like, you got such a great D line there, man.
Yeah, you're banking on a touchdown for Brian Robinson. If he doesn't score a touchdown, you're looking at a pretty bad fantasy.
I think with Eckler out, man, like, yeah, I gotta start Joshua Kelly, but like, if you can find other matchups, maybe. But Joshua Kelly, this might be a redeem game for him. So yeah, definitely Joshua Kelly, man. PPR pick one: DJ Moore versus Denver, Miles Sanders versus Minnesota, or Tank Dell versus Pittsburgh. Well, I can go first on there. I'm going Tank Dell versus Pittsburgh over those guys. DJ Moore, like, the Chargers just. The Bears just suck. Like, DJ Moore's the best player out of the three, but the Bears just suck. Denver's defense, they're actually, like, man, their secondary is supposed to be good. I don't know what the hell happened last week. They dropped off 70 points, but I think if Sean Payton's as good as a coach as we all think he is, I don't see that happening again, man. I think Denver's going to come with fire under the bellies, but I don't know if I'm allowed to swear here. I'm not going to. But like Denver's got to come out swinging, man, and the Bears just suck. The whole organization is just a mess right now. I want to start DJ Moore, but they still have Patrick Surtain, who is a top 3 corner in the league. I'm not starting DJ Moore. Miles Sanders over Minnesota, pretty decent matchup. Miles Sanders gets all the work, but he is dealing with an injury right now. I don't really know what's going to happen there. I hate playing half-injured guys unless they're super studs. And then Tank Dell versus Pittsburgh. We talked about it earlier, man. Pittsburgh's really bad against the pass. If they shut down the run, they're going to have to throw the ball, and Tank Dell's been pretty damn consistent, man. He's got that big playability at 145 yards last week. Houston likes to throw the ball. So, yeah, man, maybe I'd say Tank Dell, man, PPR format. What about you?
If Sanders is healthy, I'd go Sanders, and then DJ Moore's matchup is so good, but I'd go Tank Dell. Tank Dell, then DJ Moore. But it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't know if Surtain's going to follow Moore around everywhere, because Moore does play a lot in the slots. So, and Chase Claypool is inactive. This could be a decent game for Moore, but I still like the upside of Tank Dell. So I'd go Sanders, Dell, and then DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm. Man, I felt bad for Chase Claypool, man. We thought he was going to be so good. It was like, like Christian Watson balled out last year? Like, Claypool did that same thing, like, his rookie year, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know, he went to the Bears and just doesn't feel like playing. Like, I don't know, man.
He's complaining about targets. Come on, bro. You got to produce.
Bro, Fields throws the ball 12 times a game.
They run 20 year,
plays.
Right?
Bro, they run 20 plays on offense a game. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Bears just suck. That's it. The Bears suck. And you know what, man? I heard some rumblings that if Justin Fields doesn't step it up, bro, like, he might not be around all that long, and they might be trying to get another quarterback in there, or even trade him to, it's funny, to the Atlanta Falcons. So I think Justin Fields on the Falcons would be OP, to be honest, because Arthur Smith doesn't like throwing the ball, and Justin Fields can't throw the ball. So, you know what I mean?
They do have a great offensive line and have a lot of weapons. That would probably be a better situation for him there, but
yeah. Half PPR, Elijah Moore or Khalil Herbert?
This rookie quarterback. I'm gonna go Khalil Herbert.
Yeah,
it's just a better matchup, and I think they'll bounce back a little bit this week. Last week against the Chiefs, that was a good defense. Yeah, I'd probably say Herbert. If Watson was playing, I would have went with Moore, but you can't really trust this rookie quarterback in his first game, right? So
yeah, I honestly, I think this is like pretty even. This is a good start set because there's not one obvious player that you play, right? With the rookie QB, he might dump it down a bit to Elijah Moore, but Khalil Herbert is going against Denver, man. And one thing that they're not good at is against the run. They always get gashed against the run. The Bears don't like to throw. They can't throw. So I think that Khalil Herbert's probably the safer play here because he does get some receptions out of the backfield too. It's not like he doesn't catch the ball. And I think he's playing for his starting job right now. You know? Like Roshan's creeping up. Roshan looks, I mean, they both kind of look bad, but I think that's more just the Bears.
The offense in general.
Yeah, I think it's just more the Bears as opposed to the actual running backs. But yeah, I'm flexing Khalil Herbert. I have him starting in most of my leagues. I only have him sitting in one league, and that's because I started Pittman over him, and I'm not sitting Pittman.
Oh, can't sit Pittman.
No, man.
He's been a beast so far this year.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any guys that you're kind of like, okay, with Deshaun Watson out, let's say Deshaun Watson's your starting QB. Who do you put in?
Depending on your league format, some streamers. I mean, if CJ Stroud is there, he probably isn't, but I definitely would start him. There's not too many options, to be honest. Like, Carr's going to play today, but he's kind of banged up. I wouldn't really trust Carr. Is Bryce Young playing? I think Bryce Young's playing. I don't think I can trust Bryce Young. Let's see here. Daniel Jones has a pretty good matchup. The Seahawks defense has been struggling this year. I think they are going to get Woodland and Jamal Adams back, but the rushing upside is good with Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not looking that good on the waiver wire, man.
And slim pickings, yeah. I'm looking at what's it called? I'm looking at waiver wire right now. Daniel Jones against Seattle, Matt Stafford against the Colts, Kenny Pickett against Houston, Baker Mayfield against New Orleans. I'm not starting Derek Carr. This guy's dealing with a sprained shoulder. Bryce Young versus Minnesota. Aiden O'Connell versus the Chargers.
No.
That's my inner Raiders fan. He could ball out, but he's probably not going to. I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. But yeah, man, Bryce Young could be a sneaky start there. Matt Stafford or Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones without no Saquon, man. I guess he's gonna have to carry it himself. Danny, actual one dime out of $1. Daniel 1 out of 10 dimes. God help me. Start Justin Fields or Russell Wilson in the toilet bowl.
Oh man. I mean, if you really have to, I would say start Russell Wilson just because Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson are out. So their secondary is banged up. I mean, Russell Wilson has been better than Fields. I mean, they've both been shit, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Russ has the better weapons on the outside. I think Russ would have a good game this week for sure. I think it's a good bounce back week for him. So I'd take him over Fields.
Okay.
But hopefully you have better options.
Yeah, man. The one bad thing about this is that they both suck. The one good thing about this is both the defenses suck. So, I mean, if you're going to play a bad player at the best time, it's against the two worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I mean, flip a coin. I'd probably go Russell Wilson just because, again, like, Bears just suck. So I'm probably going Russell Wilson. But, I mean, don't be happy either way and don't be sad either way. Just close your eyes, man, and like pick one and just be like, screw it, like whatever, man. This is what I got and this is what I'm gonna live with. Shallow league, half PPR. Addison or Mike Evans. Start Addison, man. Sit Mike Evans. I'd say you gotta sit Mike Evans. I know it's really hard to do that. I have Mike Evans. I'm starting him because I have to. I only have stupid 3 wide receivers on my team because I suck. So I'm playing Mike Evans. But Mike Evans against the Saints, naturally, he doesn't do very good. I'd probably say Addison should keep the ball rolling against Carolina. Yeah, I'm going Jordan Addison over Mike Evans this week, and if Mike Evans does well, that's good for my fantasy. Good, but I'm not expecting anything. I'm expecting maybe 6 or 7 points from him.
Oh, I have Mike Evans as a sit. I had him as my bust of the week, man. He's going against Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a tough matchup for him. And Addison's been playing nice too, so I'd go with Addison for sure.
And you know what's crazy, man? They hate each other. Every time they go against each other, they're about to get kicked out of the game. They have been ejected from games before. Yeah. Oh man, but you know what kills me?
They've got history, man.
Bro, Mike Evans, you're 6'5". You're 6'5", bro. Just get the ball, score a touchdown, help me out. I need you. This is fantasy managers all around the world, man. We need you, bro. Mike Evans, ball out, probably won't, but please, ball out.
You gotta put some respect on Lattimore's name, though. I mean,
yeah,
it's 10 games now. You think whether Brady the Goat is throwing you the ball or Baker Mayfield is throwing you the ball, as Lattimore has had his number. Yeah, that's a big sample size, man. 10 games is a lot.
So I actually saw something that said the top 3 corners or defensive backs for pass deflections has been all from the Saints. It's whatever 3. It's Marshawn Lattimore, and I'm sorry I don't know the other 2's names right now off the top of my head.
It's Paulson Adebo. He's out this week, so okay. I think this should be a Chris Godwin game. I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, man, start Addison. It's going against Carolina. I think you do that. He's the replacement to Thielen, so and start Adam Thielen. If anyone has Adam Thielen, bro, start him this week. I think he's going to do really well. It's a revenge game. Minnesota's defense sucks. Adam Thielen got let go. It's time. It's Adam Thielen time. Any bad weather games this week off the top of your head?
From what I've seen, it looks pretty good. Nothing crazy.
Okay. So no weather issues there. If you had any player that you would stash before the game starts, before they hit waivers, is there any player that you might want to pick up on your waiver wire right now?
Oh man,
my team's still. It's okay, man. We got to do it for the people, man. This is for the people.
I was potentially going to put a claim. No, I was gonna put a claim in for this one guy, but if Jameson Williams is out there on the wire, I mean, this Lions offense looks really good. I don't know because you can't really put suspended players on your IR, so someone must have probably dropped him. He should be back, I think, because they reduced the suspension to 4 games, so I think he's
eligible next. He's eligible.
Yeah, he's eligible next week, so I would stash him for sure.
He's dealing with a hamstring right now, but yeah, man, Jameson Williams in the second half of the season, he might be the perfect complementary piece to Amon-Ra, man. Because you got the big body receiver who's Josh Reynolds. You got your 6 slot receiver, your possession receiver, Amon-Ra, who can pop off too. It's not like he can't pop off. And then you also have, Jameson Williams, and he can blow the top off all defenses.
Now I got to spend more fab than I wanted to.
Yeah, well, man, I was going to put a claim on him anyway. I think everyone, if you're not putting a claim on Jameson Williams, you probably have good receivers. But someone like me who only has 3 receivers on their team, I'm going to need a receiver, man. Mike Evans is on bye next week. I have to play just Jacoby Myers and T. Higgins. And, man, T. Higgins, bro, please. Come on, man. Catch the ball, bro. It's time. I know Burrow's hurt, but, bro, you're dropping the ball. I drafted you. I think you're a sick player. You're number 1 on any other team, and you're the 1B or 1A, whatever. But I'm just saying, man. Come on, bro. Just catch it, bring it in, hold the ball, and give me some points, man. You dropped 2 balls last week that made me lose my matchup, man. I'm not gonna blame it on you, but I am upset. So T. Higgins, please catch the ball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Is there enough touches to go around for Williams with all the wide receivers in Detroit, though? Yeah, man. Detroit passes for 277 yards a game. They love to pass the ball. I know my. Okay, so those stats must be screwed just because Montgomery was out a couple weeks. But I still think like they're not going to be up a 20-point lead in the first half every week. You know, I think that last game was a product of the game script. Like it just ended up being like that, and Montgomery rushed for 32 yards.
But also, Jameson Williams, he doesn't need a whole lot of targets. He can take the top off the defense. Like he can produce with like a couple catches. You know, he's big playability. So there's enough mouths to feed in that offense. That's a high-powered offense, and they can consistently move the ball. So, of course, yeah, I like him.
I think we need to stop thinking as Detroit as one of those inferior teams. You know, like we're just so used to Detroit being so garbage for so long that like now when we see Detroit, we're like, oh, like it's Detroit, like whatever. And their coach Dan Campbell, he's sick. Like I really
their
like
offensive
that.
coordinator is good too. Yeah, and I have them winning that division.
Yeah, honestly, like man, they're doing really well. They have a pretty complete team on the defensive side of things. They're stepping up, man. They had 7 sacks the game before. They had 5 sacks this week. And they got 12 sacks in the last 2 games. That really helps out when you got your secondary out there. And I forget his first name, but his last name is Branch. And he's really good, man. Yeah, Brian Branch, man. The rookie. Yeah, man, Brian
They
Branch.
revamped their secondary for sure.
Yeah, Notter's saying Detroit is a low-key contender. Hell yeah, man, I agree. In the NFC especially. AFC's loaded. Anyone can win out of the NFC. You got to beat the Eagles and the Niners, in my opinion. I have the Eagles winning out of the NFC. And I'm not even an Eagles fan, but I think you're gonna have to beat out those 2 teams if you get there. But if there is a team that could do it, I mean, Detroit showed us, man. They beat Kansas City.
They do have a quarterback who played in the Super Bowl too, right? So he's got experience. They got a great O-line. Revamped the secondary.
Bro, I think that trade was stellar.
They're a dark horse.
Bro, they got so many first-round picks. And Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford played a year. I mean, the year after he was injured, but what? Now the Rams are kind of in this tier where they don't know if they're good. They don't know if they're bad, right? They don't know if they're selling. They don't know if they're buying. So, yeah, man. I think Detroit made a crazy trade, and it worked out really well for them. Detroit, I think there's enough targets for Jameson Williams. He's a guy that could go like 3 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. You know, they moved up in the first round to draft this guy after he had a torn ACL. Like, they really like that guy. They're going to play him. I think there's targets for Jameson Williams. He's definitely a stash, in my opinion, if you haven't already stashed him. So, yeah, man, I really do like Jameson Williams. All right, man, we're getting close to that 50-minute mark. We got a couple more minutes for your questions. I just want to, before you guys ask us some of those questions, I just want to ask you guys, please follow us on our Instagram, on our YouTube, and on our TikTok. We have over 1 million views on TikTok, which is crazy. We're getting over a couple thousand views on all of our Instagram reels. We do fantasy for you guys. We also do game highlights, interviews, all that thing. So we got a lot for you guys. And also shout out to our sponsor, Tenement Cards. Please check them out at tenement.com. Without Tenement, there is no Goons. So yeah, and make sure you turn on your notifications, because sometimes when breaking news hits, man, we're usually the first to put it on. I'm always checking my phone. We're always checking our stuff for some highlights, and we post that stuff right away for you. And if you have any suggestions, please let us know. We're here for the people, by the people. So if there's anything that you want to see, just let us know, man. Maybe we can put it in there. We give you a shout out too. That's perfect, man. All right, here, man. Maybe I'll ask you a start set question off one of my teams, man. So I'm not facing you this week. I'm facing Omar again. Screw you, Omar. I love you, but I hate you this week. Yeah, man.
What do you got?
Nah, my lineup's set. Like, realistically, it's like I could take out Herbert and I could put in maybe Latavius Murray or Kenneth Gainwell, but I'm not doing that.
Oh, man.
Latavius
it's the DeAndre Swift show in Philly now.
Yeah, pisses me off.
Latavius Murray, you're just banking on him to barrel into the end zone.
Yeah.
I'd like Herbert over those two guys for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap us up for the day. Good luck on your fantasy weeks this week. Let us know what your records are down below. I want to know who's actually good in fantasy and who's not. And maybe next year we could do a listeners league, a followers league, where you guys can actually be in a league with one of the goons. I'm telling you, it's a snake pit here. we got a lot of snakes in our leagues. But I mean, if you want to join the snake pit, if you think you're good at fantasy, man, we'd love to have you. We run 14-team leagues, 12-team leagues, whatever you guys want to do. Hit us up. Comment below. Let us know. We got you guys. Game day. We out.